Have you ever stopped to truly consider what the very final chapters of life might really look like, especially once you're past 75? Not the romanticized version, but the honest, unvarnished truth for many. The idea of death, especially our own, is something we push away, something we avoid talking about. We might imagine a sudden, peaceful departure, but the reality for many is a gradual process, often marked by diminishing independence, unexpected shifts in our health, and sometimes a profound sense of isolation. This avoidance, this silence, can leave us feeling unprepared, even afraid, when those later years truly arrive. But what if I told you there are 5 hidden truths about these years? Truths that, once understood, can transform fear into acceptance, and uncertainty into a sense of calm control. These aren't morbid secrets, they're empowering insights. In this video, we're going to gently peel back the layers on these crucial realities that every senior must know. We'll explore how medical care shifts, the surprising power of our connections, the peace that can be found in letting go, the profound importance of having your wishes known, and the beautiful opportunity for legacy in your final years. Understanding these 5 truths isn't about dwelling on the end. It's about enriching the journey and living your best, most prepared life right up to the very last moment. So, settle in, open your heart, and watch to the very end. Because there's something truly surprising waiting for you, something that could change how you view your future entirely. Let's dive right into our first hidden truth, one that often catches people off guard because it challenges how we've typically approached healthcare throughout our lives. You see, for decades, perhaps your entire life, the medical system has largely focused on curing what ails you. You get sick. The doctors try to fix it, to eliminate the disease, to bring you back to your previous state of health. And for much of our lives, that's exactly what we want and need. But here's the hidden truth: as we age, especially past 75, there's a significant and often unspoken shift in the primary goal of medical care. The focus moves increasingly from aggressive pursuit of a cure to prioritizing comfort, dignity, and overall quality of life. This isn't about giving up. It's about recognizing the body's natural trajectory, understanding its limitations, and making wise choices that genuinely reduce suffering and enhance well-being in your remaining years. Think about it: a risky, painful surgery might be highly beneficial for someone in their 60s with strong recovery potential. But for someone in their late 80s with multiple chronic conditions, the same surgery could lead to a long, arduous recovery, more pain, and ultimately, a poorer quality of life, without truly extending life in a meaningful way. Instead, the emphasis often turns to managing chronic pain, ensuring you can move comfortably, helping you maintain cognitive function where possible, and addressing symptoms that cause discomfort, whether physical or emotional. It's about making sure your days are as good as they can be, rather than solely chasing after an elusive cure for every single ailment. This is where concepts like palliative care become so incredibly important, and often misunderstood. Palliative care isn't just for the very end of life. It's specialized medical care for people with serious illnesses, focused on providing relief from the symptoms and stress of a serious illness. The goal is to improve quality of life for both the patient and their family. It's about living as fully as possible for as long as possible, even with a serious illness. It's a holistic approach, considering not just your body, but your mind and spirit too. So, what can you do with this truth? Start having those conversations with your doctor now. Ask about your prognosis. Understand the potential benefits and burdens of different treatments. Talk openly about your goals for care. Is it to live as long as possible, no matter the discomfort? Or is it to live as well as possible for whatever time you have left? Understanding this shift allows you to make informed decisions that truly align with your values. ensuring your later years are spent with more ease and less unnecessary suffering. Now that we've touched on the changing landscape of medical care, let's transition to our second hidden truth, one that might surprise you with its profound impact on your physical and mental well-being in later life: the surprising role of social connection and the often invisible burden of loneliness. We tend to focus on our physical health as we age, our bones, our heart, our memory. But the emotional and social landscape of our lives can change just as profoundly, and often, without us even realizing the full effect. Loneliness, you see, isn't just an unpleasant feeling. It can become a powerful, invisible health hazard. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness can be as detrimental to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It can increase inflammation in the body, accelerate cognitive decline, worsen existing health conditions, and even impact your perception of pain. Imagine losing a spouse or many lifelong friends, as often happens in our later years, or perhaps children move far away, or mobility issues make it harder to get out and about. Suddenly, your social circle shrinks, and the quiet hours grow longer. The world, which once felt full of connection, can feel isolating. This isn't just about missing company. It's about a fundamental human need that, when unmet, begins to erode our well-being from the inside out. However, the flip side of this truth is equally powerful. Strong, meaningful connections can be a vital source of resilience, joy, and a profound sense of purpose. Think of the spark in your eyes when a grandchild visits, the comfort of a regular phone call with an old friend, or the camaraderie found in a community group. These interactions, no matter how small, nourish your spirit, keep your mind engaged, and can even bolster your physical health. When you feel connected, you're more likely to stay active, eat better, and have a positive outlook. I recall a gentleman named Arthur, who, after his wife passed, withdrew almost completely. He stopped going to his regular coffee shop, declined invitations, and spent his days in quiet solitude. His health declined rapidly, and his family became increasingly worried. It wasn't until his daughter gently encouraged him to join a local seniors walking group, where he met other widowed individuals, that a light slowly began to return to his eyes. He started sharing stories, laughing again, and suddenly, his appetite improved, and he had a reason to get up each morning. The transformation was remarkable, all because he rediscovered the power of human connection. So, what can you do to harness this truth? Actively seek out social interaction, even small ones. It could be a brief chat with a neighbor, joining a book club at the local library, participating in an online interest group, or volunteering for a cause you care about. Reconnect with old friends through letters or video calls. Consider pet ownership if you're able, as animals offer unconditional companionship, and perhaps most importantly, be open to receiving help and companionship. Let your family know how much you value their presence, and make it easy for them to connect with you. Remember, nurturing your social connections isn't just a pleasant pastime. It's a critical component of living your best life in your later years. Now that we've touched upon the changing landscape of medical care and the profound impact of our connections, let's move on to something equally transformative and, perhaps, surprisingly liberating: the unexpected peace that can come with acceptance and letting go. For so much of our lives, we are driven by ambition, by striving, by trying to control outcomes. We hold on to past regrets, fret about future uncertainties, and battle against what we perceive as limitations. But as we move into our later years, especially past 75, there often comes a point where clinging to these old patterns can cause more suffering than relief. This isn't about resignation or giving up on life. It's about an active, conscious process of releasing attachments to what was and gracefully embracing what is. It's about letting go of the need to be who you once were, to do what you once could, or to control circumstances that are simply beyond your influence. Imagine a beautiful old tree in autumn. It doesn't fight against the loss of its leaves. It accepts the natural cycle, knowing that shedding allows for new growth in the spring. Similarly, for us, letting go can mean making peace with past conflicts, forgiving yourself for perceived mistakes, or simply accepting that your body can no longer do everything it once did. It's about releasing the burden of should-haves and could-haves. This acceptance, this shedding of what no longer serves us, creates space for a profound sense of inner peace. It allows you to truly live in the present moment, to find joy in the simple things, and to appreciate the beauty that still surrounds you, even amidst changes. I recall hearing about a wonderful woman named Eleanor who, in her mid-80s, began to have significant mobility issues. For years, she had been fiercely independent, a world traveler, and an avid gardener. Initially, she fought against her declining physical abilities, becoming frustrated and depressed. But after much reflection and conversations with her family, she began to shift her perspective. She let go of the idea of herself as a constantly active traveler and gardener, and instead embraced the joy of sitting in her sunny window, watching the birds, reading books, and having her grandchildren visit and tend to her small potted plants. She found a quiet contentment she hadn't known before. Not because her circumstances changed, but because her internal response to them did. She accepted. So, how do we practice this acceptance and letting go? It begins with mindfulness. Simply observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Reflect on gratitude, focusing on what you still have rather than what you've lost. Consider simplifying your life, letting go of material clutter or commitments that no longer bring you joy. Perhaps most powerfully, practice forgiveness, forgiving yourself for past actions or perceived failures, and extending forgiveness to others who may have caused you pain. This isn't about condoning wrongs, but about releasing the heavy burden of resentment from your own heart. When you learn to let go, you open yourself to a level of peace that truly frees your spirit and allows you to live more fully in the precious moments you have. Next, we'll dive into our fourth hidden truth, one that is perhaps the most practical and empowering of all the immense power of advance directives and having your wishes known. This is a truth many people, regardless of age, shy away from discussing. But for seniors, especially those past 75, it becomes not just important, but absolutely vital. The reality is, as we age, there's an increased likelihood of a health crisis or a cognitive decline that might leave us unable to communicate our own medical wishes. When this happens, our loved ones, often our children, are suddenly thrust into an incredibly difficult position. They are left to make agonizing decisions about your care, decisions about life support, resuscitation, feeding tubes, or whether to continue aggressive treatments, all while grieving and guessing what you would have wanted. This burden can lead to immense guilt, family disagreements, and prolonged emotional distress, all at a time when they should be focusing on support and remembrance. Having clear advance directives isn't about inviting death or being morbid. It's about exerting your autonomy, ensuring your voice is heard, your values are respected, and your family is spared immense burden and guilt. It's truly one of the greatest gifts you can give to yourself and to them. Think of it as a clear roadmap for your journey, laid out by you, ensuring that your journey is navigated according to your own desires, even if you can't speak for yourself in the moment. An advance directive generally includes a living will, which specifies the types of medical treatments you want or don't want in certain situations, and a durable power of attorney for healthcare, which designates a trusted person to make medical decisions on your behalf if you cannot. It's about saying, "This is what matters to me. This is how I want to be cared for." I've seen situations where families were torn apart by differing opinions on a parent's care, simply because the parent had never articulated their wishes. Conversely, I've seen families find immense peace, knowing they were honoring their loved one's specific desires, even in the most difficult moments. The clarity provided by these documents allowed them to focus on comforting their parent, rather than agonizing over impossible choices. So, what are the actionable steps here? First, research advance directives specific to your region or country. Laws can vary slightly. Second, and crucially, discuss your wishes openly and honestly with your loved ones and your doctor. Don't assume they know what you want. Even if you've talked about it generally, be specific. Do you want CPR? Do you want to be kept comfortable at home? Or do you prefer to be in a hospital? Third, put it in writing. While verbal wishes are important, legal documents provide undeniable clarity. Finally, review and update these documents regularly, especially if there are significant changes in your health, your family situation, or your values. This isn't a one-and-done task. It's an ongoing conversation with yourself and your loved ones. This truth, when embraced, transforms a potentially terrifying unknown into a clear, dignified path, ensuring your autonomy and peace of mind right to the very end. Finally, we come to our fifth hidden truth, one that perhaps offers the most profound sense of meaning and closure as we journey through our later years, the often overlooked opportunity for legacy and reconciliation. We might think of our final years as a time of slowing down, of reflection. And while that's true, they are also a unique, precious window for purposeful reflection, for sharing wisdom, and for mending fences. This isn't just about leaving behind material possessions. It's about consciously shaping the story you leave behind, not just through your values and your memories, but through the relationships you nurture and the wisdom you impart. It's also a powerful time for reconciliation, for forgiving, for seeking forgiveness, and for finding peace in strained or broken relationships. The truth is, grudges and unresolved conflicts can weigh heavily on the spirit, and carrying them into your final chapter can be an immense burden. Think about the richness you've accumulated over a lifetime. Experiences, lessons learned, funny stories, family history, skills. These are invaluable treasures that only you possess. Sharing them is an incredible gift to future generations and to those who love you. It could be as simple as writing letters to your grandchildren, describing moments from your childhood, or sharing your philosophy on life. Perhaps it's recording your stories, even on your phone, for your family to listen to years from now. Or maybe it's passing on a family recipe, a crafting skill, or a particular passion. This act of sharing creates a living legacy, ensuring that a part of you continues to inspire and guide long after you're gone. It's not about grand achievements, but about the unique essence of who you are and what you believe. I remember a woman named Margaret, who, in her 90s, started a weekly story time with her great-grandchildren, not just reading books, but telling tales from her own youth. The children adored it, and Margaret found a renewed sense of purpose and joy in seeing her memories spark their imaginations. She was leaving an emotional and experiential legacy far richer than any inheritance. And then there's the aspect of reconciliation. Life is messy, and most of us have strained relationships or unresolved issues. The later years offer a unique grace period to address these. It takes courage, yes, but reaching out to an estranged family member, expressing remorse for past hurts, or offering forgiveness can bring immense peace to all involved. It's about letting go of old wounds and finding a path to peace. Not necessarily perfect harmony, but a sense of closure. This act of mending or seeking understanding can be incredibly liberating for your own spirit, removing a heavy emotional weight. It allows you to depart with a clearer conscience and a lighter heart. So, what can you do? Begin a life review journal. jotting down memories, thoughts, and lessons. Consider recording your oral history for your family. Actively express your love and appreciation to those around you, not just in words, but through small gestures. And if there's a relationship that weighs on you, consider reaching out. It might be through a letter, a phone call, or a gentle conversation. You don't have to force reconciliation, but offering the olive branch can bring profound peace. Define what kind of legacy you want to leave, not just material, but emotional, spiritual, and intellectual. We've journeyed through 5 profound truths today: the shift in medical focus to comfort and quality of life, the vital, often surprising, role of human connection, the unexpected peace found in acceptance and letting go, the empowering clarity of having your wishes known through advanced directives, and the beautiful, meaningful chance for legacy and reconciliation in your final years. Understanding these realities isn't meant to be grim or frightening. It's truly about empowerment. It's about knowing that even in the face of life's ultimate certainty, you have agency, you have choices, and you have the power to shape these years with grace, dignity, and intention. Remember, small shifts in perspective, open conversations, and a willingness to embrace these truths can make an immeasurable difference to your peace of mind and the well-being of those you love. These aren't just secrets. They're invitations to live more fully, more consciously, right up to the very last moment. I genuinely want to hear from you. Which of these truths resonated most deeply with you? What insights have you gained from your own experiences, or perhaps from caring for loved ones in their later years? Please take a moment to share your thoughts and wisdom in the comments below. Your perspective is incredibly valuable, and your stories can help so many others who might be quietly grappling with these very same questions. If this conversation has brought you any comfort, clarity, or food for thought, please take a moment to give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps us reach more people who need to hear these empowering messages. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel and hitting that notification bell, so you don't miss out on more helpful content designed to help you live your best life at every age. Because here's the beautiful truth: every chapter of life holds its own unique beauty, its own lessons, and its own opportunities for growth and profound connection. Embrace these years, live with purpose, and remember, you are not alone on this journey. Live your best life, with wisdom and joy, at every age,